There are 9 random things that I didn't know before I moved to Germany, and they really caught me off guard. It goes from bombs to alarms to crazy contracts and many more things. Well, 9 in total, like I mentioned. So if you're curious to find out what they are, stick around. Hey, I'm Jen.
And I'm Yvonne.
And we're from simplegermany.com, where we help expats settle into life in Germany more smoothly. Okay, so number 1 on my list, it goes back to World War II times. And that has to do with the fact that sometimes bombs are found.
Yes.
And they're found from World War II times.
Yeah.
And obviously the world stops, right?
In that area.
In that area.
So what Jen is describing, I think, is that it can happen at any time, day of night, that a train station or a certain area of a residential area, anything pretty much can just be completely closed, evacuated for hours or days to come. And you don't know why. And then you do some research or you listen to the radio, I don't know what, and then they say, oh, there was another bomb found from World War II that has not exploded, hence it could still explode, and that is why everything gets closed off and evacuated.
Which is crazy. I mean, it makes sense, right? Because obviously not everything exploded that landed like the bombs, but it's just so freaky knowing that, you know, you could be evacuated and there are bombs. I remember once a whole train station got closed.
A what?
A train station got closed because there was a bomb found in the area and you couldn't leave pretty much from that stop. Or come, obviously.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So also World War II related is the first time I heard this, I was so like freaked out. It has to do with the sirens in the city. So I think it's Germany wide, but I've heard it for sure in Düsseldorf, and I know it happens also in Cologne, is the fact that randomly one day during the day, this massive alarm like starts ringing. I'm gonna pause now because I have a video that I'm gonna show you.
From the last time it happened in Düsseldorf.
As you heard, that alarm is pretty loud.
Yes.
It is pretty loud, and it's like city-wide.
Yes.
So much that once, not this time that the day that I recorded this video, but before I was in a meeting, and everyone had to put the mute button because we were all like, okay, let's wait for the alarm to finish. So can you explain to me what these alarms are?
So one needs to distinguish a little bit. I mean, I agree they're super loud, but they're supposed to be, right? Because they're supposed to get everyone's attention. And like you said, again, we trace back to World War II. Or even World War I, I'm not 100% sure, but 2 war times.
Yeah.
And it was, or it is commonly known as a Fliegeralarm. So basically an airplane alarm. And that was not just in Germany, I think there was also in other countries where the alarms are sounded when, they see foreign or enemy planes arriving, meaning bomb alarm, pretty much.
Yeah.
But that kept, they didn't shut the alarms off after the war ended. They actually turned them off for some time, turned them back on, turned them back on. So it's been a back and forth in politics and everything, but nowadays they are back in use. And they are generally used for like a catastrophe alarm. That's a common word now. So, for example, if there's severe flooding, if there's like really severe fire, if there's any other catastrophe that really the majority of people need to be alarmed, they sound this alarm. However, I have never really heard the alarm for a real reason. More for testing purposes.
Yeah, I was just going to say, the ones that we've heard has been for testing purposes. So what it's recommended, if you hear this alarm, is actually to go home, turn on the radio, and listen to what the radio has to say to make sure if it's a test or not, right?
Well, go inside, close all windows and doors, alarm like your neighbors, and exactly, turn on television or radio and listen to what is advised. Don't use your phone, because if everyone will do that, then, it's over.
The phone lines are jammed.
Exactly, they're jammed. So that's basically a practice, but also practice for the sirens. But there's 2 different ones, right? There is so they're both 1 minute long. And one is changing in tone. It's like the typical, you can play it. And that is for really alarming, for a catastrophe. And then there is the one for 1 minute where the sound stays exactly the same, which is actually more annoying in the ear. And that basically means the emergency is over.
Ah, okay. It's super interesting, right? If you don't know this, you're just like, what the hell is going on?
However, in smaller villages, or not just villages, smaller towns, there is also a different alarm structure. For example, I, as a kid, always thought, and I still think it's true. These loud alarms were fire alarms because, especially if you go like decades back. Oh my God, I have to say decades. If you go decades back, radio transmitters that, for example, firefighters are carrying weren't a thing yet. So the big alarm is also actually from the fire station that's being sound to alarm the firefighters to come into the station for a real emergency. So that is also a thing, especially in smaller areas and not the big cities.
Yeah, that makes sense. So long story short, you might listen to alarms. It could be fire related. It could be emergency related. It could just be practice.
And pretty much the practice will always be announced.
Yes.
Turn on the radio, turn on the TV, they will talk about it. If it's not practice, they will also talk about it.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But just be aware that this can happen.
Yeah, so that was like my two war-related kind of like odd things or random things that I didn't know. Number 3, remember, it's a random list, right? Now we're going to jump to the famous Bollerwagen. The Bollerwagen it's such a German thing. I actually think there is like the official website. So first of all, what is the Bollerwagen?
The Bollerwagen is a hand wagon that is nowadays, or it's used to transport stuff that is too heavy to carry.
So I've seen people actually transport their kids, obviously, but the use that I actually find the funniest and coolest one is to transport beer. Actually, the official website of the Bollerwagen actually says, what is their slogan? Like, favorite sport, Trinktransport?
Yeah, favorite sport, Trinktransport. Biertransport.
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 Oder Trinktransport.
It's on the official patent website of Germany, yeah? Bollerwagen.
So I find this invention super awesome because obviously when it's a sunny day, right, it's super nice. You pack your Bollerwagen with all your whatever for picnic or drinks or whatever, and they can carry heavy things.
Yeah.
And you go out and you just Bollerwagen your way through the city or whatnot.
So have you, before coming to Germany, never seen a Bollerwagen?
No, I had never seen a Bollerwagen.
Oh.
But I think I've seen in some movies from the US, they use something similar, like this hand-carrying thing that looks like a Bollerwagen. But I would like to think that it's a very German thing. And by the way, if you haven't, we talk also about Bollerwagens, how in Germany the Father's Day is celebrated.
Yes.
That's another weird thing that I mentioned in the video that we will put here. And also Bollerwagens are used for Father's Day as well.
Yeah.
But not exclusively,
Yes.
I would say. Also for festivals and stuff, people take
Yes.
their Bollerwagen. And to be honest, I am very proud that we are also now owners of Bollerwagens, and we hope to use it this summer. Okay, number, what is this? 3 on my random list. 4, sorry, is Asterix and Obelix.
Yeah.
I did not know about Asterix and Obelix before I moved to Germany.
I educated her.
Yeah, and I would say it's super interesting because everyone knows Asterix and Obelix,
Yes.
except for Guatemalans, obviously.
No, I wouldn't say everyone. I mean, everyone in
European,
Germany.
yeah.
Yeah, everyone in France, maybe, yeah. But it's a very big thing in German culture, yeah?
Yeah, so Asterix and Obelix is a cartoon. It started as movies, right? Or it started as comics. I don't really know the history of that, but it's both comics and movies about this cartoon, and it's quite funny once you get the hang of it. And it's really, really popular, so much that you go to, there are like big events and just about Asterix and Obelix, like movies are being, it's a really big thing.
Yeah.
So I was very intrigued of what the hell is this, and when I saw one movie from Asterix and Obelix, I was like, oh, that's actually quite cool. It's funny, so I like it. Yeah, so it's a random thing. Number 5 random thing that I didn't know about Germany is contracts, man. Contracts.
Are a thing. That's what she's trying to point out.
So contracts are a thing, and they're not like a random thing. They're like a big thing.
Yes.
So what do I mean? The fact that contracts usually run for 2 years.
Yes.
The fact that contracts can be auto-renewable if you don't have a specific disclaimer against that. And the fact that to cancel a contract, it is a 3-month period.
Yes.
And this goes for everything. Like you need to give a 3-month notice for quitting your job. Generally, you need to give a 3-month notice when you want to cancel your phone contract, when you want to leave your apartment, when you
when you want to leave anything.
the gym. So every contract usually has a 3-month notice period, which I find it's super long. But what's most interesting is the fact of this 2-year period that is auto-renewable. So for example, with the phone contracts, right? If you get a phone, if you move to Germany and you get a brand new phone with, if you get a mobile contract that includes a brand new phone plus your monthly, whatever you pay for your gigabytes and data and whatever, you're going to obviously be paying for this phone for the next 2 years. That's how it works, right?
Yes.
However, they auto-renew everything,
Yes.
including you paying for that new phone, even if you have paid for that phone already.
That's not nice.
That
And you
is
really
not
have
nice.
to look out for that. So that is something that is not okay. And there you really need to contact your provider and say, look, my phone is paid for, reduce the amount that I pay. But the whole contract thing, it is, yes, very German. And I think Jen is trying to point out that she hasn't experienced this before, doesn't know of it anywhere else.
Yeah.
That's strongly.
That's strongly, yeah. And talking about contracts, this is how much contracts are taken into seriously. I can go into my next point of random things is divorce. So what I find to have a divorce, actually,
Which is a marital contract,
right?
Yeah?
And for that, actually, if I understand this correctly, you can only get a divorce after you have proven that you and your partner have lived separately for a year.
Yes. So there is the year of separation. Before that, you cannot get divorced. And this is a very unique thing for Germany, yes.
And I find that super interesting because it makes sense, right? Maybe you split up with your partner and then you get into a fight, but maybe 6 months down the line, you reunite, and then why pay for a divorce?
It's not just about paying. It's
Well,
about
also, why split up? Okay, yeah.
Exactly.
You're gonna get back together. So German, the court needs to know. Okay, you are serious. You have moved on with your life.
you've tried to rekindle, it doesn't work.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's been a year officially, and that's how you can get divorced. Interesting, right? I'm pretty sure there are exceptions. I am definitely not a divorce lawyer or anything, right? This is just like the common general rule.
When you learned of it, you were very surprised.
When I
yes.
learned of it, I was like, wow, that is super interesting. Yeah. Another one on my random list is Apfelschorle. So Apfelschorle is, please explain what Apfelschorle is.
Whew, it's basically sparkling water mixed with apple juice.
Which is so interesting.
So delicious.
But why don't you just drink the apple juice?
Because then it's like heavy and sweet and it's like sticky. But Apfelschorle is like the most thirst quenching beverage that exists.
I wonder if you are a German and you don't like Apfelschorle, please comment down below because I'm pretty sure every German loves Apfelschorle.
Most, I would say. Yeah.
I would actually add myself to that list because I did not know about this, and actually I really enjoyed Apfelschorle now. Yeah, it's very nice. It's very good thirst.
It's a very
quencher.
German drink, yes.
Yeah, so that's a random thing I didn't know also. Okay, now we go into funny, weird things as well. And the other thing is that men are expected to pee sitting down on a toilet,
Yes.
which is so interesting, right? So
And
what
how
does
did
that
you
mean?
find out about this?
How did I find out about this? I think I saw a sign on a public toilet about like if you're gonna pee, remember to sit down. Then I think I asked a German friend, and he's like, "Yeah, of course you sit down when you pee on a toilet." And then also your parents also they have like signs in the bathroom to remind men to sit down when peeing. And to be honest, I've asked a few German guys, and they all confirm that they sit down when they pee on the toilet. Yeah. So any comments to that? Well, you're not a guy, so you can't really explain, but but of course there are bathrooms, public bathrooms that they have the how's it called the bassinet,
The pissoir.
When men can pee standing up. However, the rule is that if you're going to use the toilet, that's when it's required that you sit
It's just
down,
more hygienic and respectful for women.
which I find super cool. Yeah, so I like that. Even though I'm not a guy, but if it's a public toilet, it's nice that it's at least taken care of. I'm not saying like all men pee, it's a mess. Anyways, that's a different topic, right? But then talking about toilets, one thing that I didn't know, and I still find till this day very shocking, is the fact that you have to pay for public toilets.
Yes.
No, but no, that's not true. I understand paying for public toilets because they're public and if you want to clean it. What I don't understand is if you're in a restaurant, and sometimes it's a very nice restaurant, you're having dinner there, you're having drinks,
You're a
enjoying,
paying customer, yes.
and you go to the bathroom and then there's a person there that you're supposed to give money to. And this person will ask you for money. It's not a given that, oh, you're a customer, just like enjoy the bathroom. No, they're standing there waiting for you to give them money. And that I don't understand because like you are a paying customer and if the cleaning person needs to pay for it, then add it to my bill. It's so weird that then you go down and then you have to bring coins with you. And if you don't have coins, then it's super awkward, right?
Yeah, I agree. It's a very, very typical German thing, and another reason why you really always need to carry like your little coin pouch with you.
Exactly.
I mean, it's Germany is still a cash country, is no secret, but not just in bills, but really in coins. Like we have a South African friend who's like, dude, never in my life have I had so many coins, and they are heavy. And all foreigners now have their little. It's a famous German coin pouch that you need to carry around, and it's true. true. And even for public toilets, which, yes, okay, we can understand that.
Yeah, the public toilets I can understand. Yeah.
But I think the kind of reason maybe why we are also expected to pay for toilet service in restaurants is that Germany doesn't have that many public toilets like other countries. I mean, remember when we were in Australia and there were public toilets everywhere.
Yeah.
And they were clean, they had paper, they were just
free.
state of the art, and they were free. But really everywhere. You never had to worry like, oh, you know, I need it's pressure, I need to release. Whereas in Germany, you really need to find that one public toilet in a city. And then what do? You sometimes sneak, which is also not nice, into bars or restaurants and use their bathroom.
Okay, and that's why they're charging. But
and
it's
how are
still
they supposed to know whether
Yeah.
you're paying or not, you know, if you're going down to the bathroom?
Yeah, that's
so
true.
it's a
Okay,
whole
that's-
topic.
yeah.
Just be aware, Jen wasn't, that the bathroom use in Germany usually costs like 50 to 70 cents.
Yeah, 50 to 70 cents. Yes, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. So that's a thing I didn't know, and I still find it odd. I don't know. Maybe you have more information of why this is how it is. So that was my 9 random things that I did not know before I moved to Germany. If you're planning to moving here, now you know because you watched this video. If you have been living here for some time and you also have random things that you didn't know, then leave them in the comments below. We actually love reading your comments and learning so many things about how things work.
And
in
different
all
perspectives,
parts
yeah,
of Germany
yeah.
and the different perspectives. So make sure to leave that comment. Also, make sure to like that video. That will help to promote this video to others so they might find it. And also, this information might be useful to them. And that subscription button if you want to be part of the Simple Germany family and everything. And
basically, you know, show us your love.
Yes.
Because we enjoy making this content. We want to be helpful. And we need your support to continue being helpful.
yeah, exactly. So we hope we get to see you next Monday. Yeah?
Yeah.
Until then, have a nice one.
Cheers.